this guy here had a recording studio called United Sounds, which is not that far from here. And at the time, back in the day, everybody would come to Detroit and record in his studio from all over the world, as well as Motown artists, even though they had their own studios. And Mike and that guy right there, who's a percussionist, also were session musicians at this studio. Star Trek and Star Wars also heavily influences because of the scientific background, because of computers, because of, this may sound a little cheesy, but aliens living together peacefully on the Starship Enterprise. And our feeling is that techno music brings people together regardless of your race, creed, your sexual orientation, or whatever country that you're from. And because Gene Roddenberry, who created Star Trek, I thought was a genius, a lot of the instruments and things that they use, we sort of use today. It wasn't called an iPad back then, but it's exactly what it is now. So everything that seems like a lot of instruments they use actually, came into fruition. So Star Wars and Star Trek are also influences. Any questions about anything here? No? So I'm clear, right?
Did Star Trek have to pay royalties to use the name Deep Space Nine when they created that show?
Well, no, I don't know. But you know what? You're right. I didn't think about that. Deep Space Nine was a station. Yeah, the space station. Good question.
Just curious.
Maybe I'll research that.
Do you know if they have the mental machine selling somewhere?
I'm not sure. This showcase on the top row are the founders of Detroit Techno and subsequently Techno in the world. Juan Atkins, we consider the godfather of techno, and if it wasn't for him, you all wouldn't be here. There would be no festivals any place in the world, or any clubs anywhere, because of him and these three other gentlemen who created this futuristic sound that just took the world by storm. And at the time when it was created, there was a lot of things going on in Detroit. Recessions, depressions, all the fuel companies laying off people. There was racial discrimination. So the music reflects what was happening then, but because it was such a futuristic type of music, it also was music that gave you hope for the future. So that's a good way to describe techno music. Everybody didn't get it here initially. It was like an underground movement of people, and I guess because it was so different, it was just a different type of music that nobody had ever heard. I guess it just was it transcended from just regular electronic music to another level. Juan, Derek May, Kevin Saunderson, and Eddie Folks went to high school together. Not for 4 years, but they ended up at Belleville High School, which is near the airport. So you probably passed it. If you flew in, you passed it. It's like 30-something miles, I guess, from Detroit. And Derek's born here, Juan, Eddie. Kevin's born in Brooklyn, New York, and he moved to Detroit at an early age. So they became friends while they were in Belleville. I think Eddie and Juan knew each other before. So actually, when you think about the different styles of music, Juan's music is more electronic and techno-ish, I guess, even though they all do techno. But because of our relationship and our position with Chicago, where house music was created, we would go back and forth. We go there to play, they come here to play, so there's no way that DJs and producers could not be influenced by house music. And if you think back to early records like Good Life and Big Fun, to me it sounds like house music. That's what I feel. But it's considered techno. And even Strings of Life by Derek May has a lot of house music, elements to it. He was always more electronic in his music. know, so, and as well as Eddie. But it's all considered techno. So, for a long time, you only heard about the Belleville 3, which was Juan, Derek, and Kevin. And you never heard about Eddie Fowlkes. And Eddie Fowlkes was there at the beginning. As a matter of fact, he did a techno record before Kevin and Derek. You know, but for many different reasons, his name was left out of history. And I can tell you about that because it all stems from this record right here that went over to London. And when this record was released in London, techno really exploded. A guy named Neil Rushton came to Detroit because he got wind of the music, loved it, and he wanted to record, you know, the producers who were doing the music at the time. And on this picture is a very early Kevin Saunderson, Derek May, Juan Atkins, Mark Kitchen, or MK. I'm sorry, this is Kevin and Santonio, I believe. Kevin Saunderson here, and Blake Baxter. There's no Eddie Fowlkes. He's absent. So, when Neil took this back to London, because he's from London, I believe, it exploded. Something happened between Eddie and Neil. Neil Rushton is the one that came up with that Belleville 3 thing. It didn't come from Detroit, it was him. So that's why everybody thinks there was only 3 founders, but there were actually 4. Now other people found out about it, you know, if you do history, you know, research, you'll find out there was 4. But a lot of people come here just, you know, just think there's only 3, and I get, you know, people argue with me, like, they said it's Belleville 3, I said no, it's Belleville 4, they said no, it's Belleville 3, I said no, it's Belleville 4, you know, but it's pretty interesting. But now he is, you know, he's now getting more recognition as the 4th founder, and he always says, he said, John, wait till my documentary comes out. I'm gonna tell the truth of exactly what happened when this music was created. So here's that. On this role, well, the other thing, Cybertron. Everybody heard of Cybertron?
Yeah.
Everybody, Alleys Up Your Mind. Juan Atkins was a member of this group, and this is actually the very first techno record created. And there's been controversy about that as well, but this is it. And Cybertron, there's a picture out in the hallway there. Well, I should fast. Very early. Young Juan Atkins.
There it is.
Maybe better white.
I thought it was just something ridiculous. So I thought it was.
Yep.